The Bible in a Year, Day 68, Deuteronomy 19 through 21. When the Lord your God cuts down the nations whose land the Lord your God is giving you, and you have dispossessed them and settled in their cities and houses, you shall set apart 3 cities in the land the Lord your God is giving you to possess. You shall measure the distances and divide into 3 regions the land of which the Lord your God is giving you possession, so that every homicide will be able to find a refuge. This is the case of a homicide who may take refuge there and live. When someone strikes down a neighbor unintentionally and not out of previous hatred. For example, if someone goes with a neighbor to a forest to cut wood, wielding an axe to cut down a tree, and its head flies off the handle and hits the neighbor a mortal blow, such a person may take refuge in one of these cities and live. Should the distance be too great, the avenger of blood might in hot anger pursue, overtake, and strike the killer dead, even though that one does not deserve the death penalty, since there has been no previous hatred. For this reason I command you, set apart 3 cities. But if the Lord your God enlarges your territory, as he swore to your ancestors, and gives you all the land he promised your ancestors he would give, because you carefully observe the whole commandment which I give you today, loving the Lord your God and ever walking in his ways, then add 3 more cities to these 3. Thus, in the land which the Lord your God is giving you as a heritage, innocent blood will not be shed, and you will not become guilty of bloodshed. However, if someone hating a neighbor lies in wait, attacks and strikes the neighbor dead, and then flees to one of these cities, the elders of the killer's own city shall send and have the killer taken from there to be handed over to the avenger of blood and slain. Do not show pity, but purge from Israel the innocent blood, so that it may go well with you. You shall not move your neighbor's boundary markers entraced by your forebears in the heritage that will be allotted to you in the land the Lord your God is giving you to possess. One witness alone shall not stand against someone in regard to any crime or any offense that may have been committed. A charge shall stand only on the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses. If a hostile witness rises against someone to accuse that person of wrongdoing, the 2 parties in the dispute shall appear in the presence of the Lord, in the presence of the priests and the judges in office at the time, and the judges must investigate it thoroughly. If the witness is a false witness who has accused the other, you shall do to the false witness just as the false witness planned to do to the other. Thus shall you purge the evil from your midst. The rest shall hear and be afraid, and never again do such an evil thing as this in your midst. Do not show pity. Life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, and foot for foot. When you go out to war against your enemies and see horses and chariots and an army greater than your own, you shall not be afraid of them, for the Lord your God who brought you up from the land of Egypt will be with you. When you are drawing near to battle, the priest shall come forward and speak to the army and say to them, Hear, O Israel, today you are drawing near for battle against your enemies. Do not be weak-hearted or afraid, alarmed or frightened by them, for it is the Lord your God who goes with you to fight for you against your enemies and give you victory. Then the officials shall speak to the army. Is there anyone who has built a new house and not yet dedicated it? Let him return home, lest he die in battle and another dedicate it. If there is there anyone who has planted a vineyard and not yet plucked its fruit? Let him return home, lest he die in battle and another pluck its fruit. Is there anyone who has betrothed a woman and not yet married her? Let him return home, lest he die in battle and another marry her. The officials shall continue to speak to the army. Is there anyone who is afraid and weak-hearted? Let him return home, or else he might make the hearts of his fellows melt as his does. When the officials have finished speaking to the army, military commanders shall be appointed over them. Even you draw near a city to attack it. Offer it terms of peace. If it agrees to your terms of peace and lets you in, all the people to be found in it shall serve you in forced labor. But if it refuses to make peace with you and instead joins battle with you, lay siege to it. And when the Lord your God delivers it to your power, put every male in it to the sword, but the women and children and livestock and anything else in the city and all its spoil you may take as plunder for yourselves, and you may enjoy the spoil of your enemies, which the Lord your God has given you. That is how you shall deal with any city at a considerable distance from you, which does not belong to these nations here, but in the cities of these peoples that the Lord your God is giving you as a heritage. You shall not leave a single soul alive. You must put them all under the ban, the Hittites, Amorites, Canaanites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites, just as the Lord your God has commanded you, so that they do not teach you to do all the abominations that they do for their gods, and you thus sin against the Lord your God. When you are at war with a city and have laid siege to it for a long time before you capture it, you shall not destroy its trees by putting an axe to them. You may eat of them, but you must not cut them down. All the trees of the field, human beings that they should be included in your siege. However, those trees which you know are not fruit trees you may destroy. You may cut them down to build siege works against the city that is waging war with you until it falls. If the corpse of someone who has been slain is found lying in the open in the land of the Lord your God is giving you to possess, and it is not known who killed the person, your elders and judges shall go out and measure the distance to the cities that are in the neighborhood of the corpse. When it is established which city is nearest the corpse, the elders of that city shall take a heifer that has been put to work or worn a yoke. The elders of that city shall bring the heifer down to a wadi with an ever-flowing stream at a place that has not been plowed or sown, and shall break the heifer's neck there in the wadi. The priests, the descendants of Levi, shall come forward, for the Lord your God has chosen them to minister to him and to bless in the name of the Lord, and every case of dispute or assault shall be for them to decide. Then all the elders of that city nearest the corpse shall wash their hands over the heifer whose neck was broken in the wadi, and declare, our hands did not shed this blood, and our eyes did not see the deed. Absolve, O Lord, your people Israel, whom you have redeemed, and do not let the guilt of shedding innocent blood remain in the midst of your people Israel. Thus they shall be absolved from the guilt of bloodshed, and you shall purge the innocent blood from your midst, and do what is right in the eyes of the Lord. When you go to war against your enemies, and the Lord your God delivers them into your power, so that you take captives, if you see a beautiful woman among the captives and become so enamored of her that you wish to have her as a wife, and so you take her home to your house, she must shave her head, cut her nails, lay aside her captive's garb, and stay in your house, mourning her father and mother for a full month. After that you may come to her, and you shall be her husband, and she shall be your wife. If later on you lose your liking for her, you shall give her her freedom. If she wishes it, you must not sell her for money. Do not enslave her, since you have violated her. If a man who has two wives, one loved and the other unloved, and if both the loved and the unloved bear him sons, but the firstborn is the son of the unloved wife, when he comes to bequeath his property to his sons, he may not consider as his firstborn the son of the wife he loves, in preference to the son of the wife he does not love, the firstborn. On the contrary, he shall recognize as his firstborn the son of the unloved wife, giving him a double share of whatever he happens to own, since he is the first fruits of his manhood, and to him belong the rights of the firstborn. If someone has a stubborn and rebellious son who will not listen to his father or mother, and who will not listen to them even though they discipline him, his father and mother shall take hold of him and bring him out to the elders at the gate of the home city, where they say to the elders of the city, "This son of ours is stubborn and rebellious fellow who will not listen to us. He is a glutton and a drunkard." Thus all his fellow citizens shall stone him to death. Thus you shall purge the evil from your midst, and Israel will hear and be afraid. If a man is guilty of a capital offense, is to be put to death, and you hang him on a tree, his corpse shall not remain on the tree overnight. You must bury it on the same day. Anyone who is hanged is a curse of God. You shall not defile the land which the Lord your God is giving you as a heritage. This is the word of the Lord.